learn people skills and teamwork skills and stuff like that. And, you know, not to be too serious about the coaching thing, but I've also spent a bunch of time coaching hockey and baseball before at the like really little league level. And it's, you know, you can see when you're that up close with it, how little lessons that you pick up and little challenges that you go through in sport like really mean a lot more than that when you're that age, because again, that's how you're, you know, being introduced to team play and just challenges in the world that you don't have if you're at home doing self-play and stuff like that. So I think, you know, reaching more people with basketball, making sure the access is there across, you know, all different lines, I think it's incredibly important. So I'm very glad you guys are doing it, and it's cool that MLSE has put so much time and effort into that.
As you can see, MLSE Foundation has raised millions of dollars to keep kids in sport. We're very thankful that they are a charitable partner tonight. We're raising a lot of money for them. Noor, how important is it to have little kids just playing basketball?
So important. If you ask Karina and I, well, for me especially, I grew up not knowing basketball existed until I saw it on my screen when I was about probably 15 years old. So I think for kids to see that there are sports like that out there, for them to know that they can even have the talent to play that means a lot. And representation is everything in today's world. So I think basketball in Canada, seeing that grow right now has been amazing. And I'm sure we have a lot more way to go, Karina, especially starting here at Mattamy Athletic Center.
Absolutely. And now it's time to bring in our courtside crew, Matthew Davison and Evan Davis, and our sideline reporter, Abigail Dove, for more on the game. Matthew?
Well, thank you so much, Karina. Matthew Davison alongside Evan Davis for the Sport versus Media game from Old Maple Leaf Gardens. We got a whole lot of former pro athletes, some of the best sports scribes and media members from across Canada, and some Hall of Famers as well. Evan, what are you most looking forward to in tonight's matchup, which is going to be real exciting?
I mean, I'm just looking for a real exciting matchup here between Team Sport and Team Media. Funny enough, on Team Sport, not a lot of basketball players here, so I'm looking to see how their jumpers are, if who's hot, who's cold to start out.
And of course, the big trade in the pregame festivities with Alex Johnson heading to Team Media, Deshaun Stevens and Justin Pooney heading the other way. Big trade. Evan, your thoughts?
Yeah, Alex Johnson, he is no joke on the basketball court. The first Canadian drafted first overall in the National Basketball League of Canada. He runs his own basketball clinics as well. I mean, this is a superstar that's coming to Team Media.
And husband and wife get to go head-to-head as well. Bree Johnson taking on Alex Johnson. It should be a good one. And of course, from Old Maple Leaf Gardens, the Mattamy Athletic Center, and of course, all in support of the MLSE Foundation for a great cause. The day is finally here. Some back and forth between Esperahini and Tishon, the celebrity referee. And we're underway here in the Sport versus Media game from the Mattamy Athletic Center. And getting the ball in the corner will be Cam Bruce. And now back up to Elijah Roberts, member of the TMU Bold hockey team. That shot off the mark. And Team Media will take over here. Taking it up court will be Will Liu, co-host of the Raptors show, Evan.
Yeah, it's a nice show. I love listening to him talk basketball. He's a great guy, great podcaster as well. He's got a lot to say about the Raptors.
Alex Johnson will feed it inside. Robin Pearson, guarded by Deshaun Stevens, who called the Vanier Cup earlier today. Oh, that's a towering rebound there for Elijah Roberts. Tried to feed it up court for Ailish Forfar, but Will Liu with the steal. Now it comes over to Jerome Chang, back for Will Liu, who'll launch up a three, and it goes! Will Liu, the opening points of the Sport versus Media game.
And that got a few smiles from Team Media. I don't think they were expecting Liu to make that.
Pretty stroke there for Will Liu. 3-0 advantage here for Team Media. That shot off the mark from Elijah Roberts. Here comes Team Media. Team Media, the clear underdog. You got athletes going against media members. And I think a lot of people had Sport Media as the favorites. Evan, what are your thoughts about Team Media kind of embracing this underdog mentality?
I think they're going to take it with pride, as Will Liu, when he made that three, really fired up, and a steal there. Team Media looking like Team Sport.
Here comes Alex Johnson all the way, and he's going to draw the foul. Bree Johnson fouling her husband there, and Alex Johnson.
She giving it to the ref right there. No foul.
Alex Johnson and Bree Johnson met at a tournament at North Carolina Central University back in 2011. Johnson was playing for North Carolina State, and Bree Dorsett at that point was hooping for nearby Johnson Central Smith. They actually had a wedding proposal that had over 3 million views, where Alex Johnson faked an injury during a pickup game, was down on one knee, and where he finally proposed and went viral on social media. And that matchup is going to be fun to watch all day long as they go head-to-head here. 4-0 advantage here for Team Media, as that one's kept in bounds there, as Team Sport looks to get their opening points of this game here.
Yeah, struggling a bit offensively is Team Sport, but looking to set something up here.
Elijah Roberts, back for Bree Johnson. She'll launch a three and hits.
Oh, she's in her husband's head right now.
Back and forth we go here from the Mattamy Athletic Center. Will Liu talked a big game in the lead up to this game, as Robin Pearson gets it here. Robin Pearson, former Queens women's basketball player and a senior social media content producer with The Gist. Jerome Chang puts it through. His first 2 points of the night. And Team Media 6-3 lead as Cam Bruce goes up, and the tip is there for Deshaun Stevens.
Nice tip there from Deshaun Stevens.
And what a long day for him, as we mentioned, was in Queens earlier today, called the Vanier Cup. That shot just off the mark for Team Media, as he called that game on CBC Sports with Mark Lee. Cam Bruce puts it through. Congratulations to the Montreal Carabins on their first Vanier Cup since 2014. 7-6 is the scoreline here. Robin Pearson, Deshaun Stevens got a piece on that and won't go. Pretty high level of basketball we're being treated to here.
Yeah,
Just as I say that, Elijah Roberts steps out of bounds, but your early thoughts on the game so far, Evan?
Yeah, it's been honestly much faster pace than I was expecting. I expected most of it to be a little slow pace, try to find your rhythm here, but no, teams are hungry. We're seeing a lot of defensive activity for both sides.
And we get a couple of subs here. Ailish Forfar into the game, as well as Kyle Bowlers, who pulled off the Michigan goal last night against Brock University. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. TMU men's hockey account, also on the U Sports account as well.
Made an appearance on TSN's
TSN, yes.
Instagram as well. It was a nice goal. Fooled everyone.
Here's a shot put up there by Haley McGoldrick, who checks into the game. Her shot's off the mark. And quickly up court, here comes Cam Bruce out of Cobourg, Ontario, a track and field star for the Varsity Blues. Should say former Varsity Blues star. Shot is off the mark for Ailish Forfar. Ballers the rebound. Kicks it out to Forfar, who finds Bruce. Goes on the attack. Bowlers up fake. Now finds his spot and is off the mark on the jumper.
I talked to Kyle a few days ago. He said the jumper's a little rusty, more of a pass and shoot kick out type of guy.
And a guy who's very familiar with this gymnasium, Liban Osman, gets that one to drop. A former sports editor here at the Eye Opener, the TMU newspaper, as Cam Bruce gets that one to fall for his first 2 points of the day.
Nice spin move there.
Apologies, that's his second basket, up to 4 points. Here's Osman. And now McGoldrick will go inside. Shot is up there and through.
Wanted an and one call there.
He did. Pass inside, just off the mark for Kyle Ballers. Interesting to see the various hockey players, 4 hockey players on Team Sport, 1 basketball, 1 football, 1 track and field, and 1 soccer player. And then, of course, you got Justin Pooney, who comes over in the trade. And I include Deshaun Stevens, who was originally on Team Media, but also a perfect fit on Team Sport, former football player with the Waterloo Warriors. As that one will go out of bounds. And Haley McGoldrick, a sports writer for various publications, says that one's on me. Couldn't corral that pass. There's a shot that goes up just off the mark there for Bree Johnson.
Look at her hustle on defense. She's ready.
Alex Johnson can't get that one to go. Bowler's the rebound.
Nice passing, give and go. Oh, interception there.
Esperahini just leaned over here and said he's a little nervous right now as this pass comes inside. Jelani Goldridge-Reed was able to find his teammate under the basket and putting that one up and through. Alex Johnson.
Should have been a kick ball there.
We got a stoppage here and an illegal wristwatch. You want to track those steps out there, but Tishon says, nope, can't have that.
Yeah, delay of game penalty.
Yeah.
Got to take off the Apple Watch. I think the ref was just more concerned. It's a very expensive piece of product.
It really is.
That Apple Watch. It don't come cheap.
Alex Wong was wanting a delay of game call. Won't get it here as Deshaun Stevens will check back in.
That was a surprising trade as well.
It really was, and there's a lot of shock and awe here at the MAC.
But Alex Johnson now gets to compete against his wife.
Bree Johnson off the mark. Long rebound there. And Deshaun Stevens will tip that one out of bounds. Will stay with Team Media. Or it is, in fact, blue ball. Deshaun Stevens, founder of Persevere, PRSVRE on Instagram. Has over 28,000 followers and mission to reimagine the Canadian University sports fan experience, and they've certainly done that. Shot just off the mark there for Alex Wong.
Nice defense by Deshaun.
And Alex has got some fans in the audience. You can hear them here. Great pass there from Bree Johnson all the way for Bowlers, and he puts it through.
He's loving that pump fake.
A 12-11 game here, and it's a close one here as Jelani Goldridge-Reed had no one to pass it to. Levon Osman comes up court, picked up by Johnson. Osman inside, and Robin Pearson's able to draw the foul. Robin Pearson, along with Alex Johnson, I think they'll be relying a lot on today. Of course, Robin, a star with Queen's University from 2012 to 2017, was an all-star back in 2017. And of course, senior social media content producer with The Gist.
Bree Johnson already 2 fouls.
Missing on the second, but Team Media is able to keep it. And up and through, Alex Wong on the putback.
And he gave him the too small celebration.
Up court, here comes Amy Walsh out of Montreal, Quebec. The only Quebec native on Team Sport. That one off the mark for Victoria Bach. One of the 2 Hall of Famers on Team Sport. Victoria Bach in the North American Indigenous Athletics Hall of Fame. And Amy Walsh, a Hall of Famer in her own right as well, inducted into the Canadian Soccer Hall of Fame in 2017. Justin Pooney out of Surrey, BC checks in. Amy Walsh is fouled there. A legal screen will be called, or a legal block will be called on Robin Pearson.
Cheap foul right there. That was a cheap foul. Right? No pushing.
Coach S wants a sub in here. Will Lou will come back into the game. Haley McGoldrick will come out.
The coaches are dialed in here in this one.
Bowlers on the fake, the three, no good. Rebound Pearson. And the Toronto native will take it up court. Picked up by Deshaun Stevens. Back for Goodridge Reed. He'll take it all the way and draws the foul. Shot's no good, but he'll head to the line.
And Deshaun Stevens does not like that call. Immediately going to the ref there.
Jelani Goodridge Reed, a associate producer at Sportsnet and very familiar to Toronto Metropolitan University. Maybe not the name, but the school, a graduate of the sport media program. As Amanda Lee Coffey will check into the game.
Well, if he has any job opportunities at Sportsnet, Jelani, you know who to call. I'll leave my card, please.
Shameless plug for Evan here. He's looking for a job.
Please.
All right, stop it. 15 seconds left to go in this first quarter, and neither coach has utilized their timeouts. We got some great features we want to show you. Maybe we got to remind these coaches, you can use some timeouts if you want to. Last 6 seconds here, Bowlers. And a shot here from Cam Bruce off the mark. Long rebound, and Bruce got it. Both those guys wanted that board. Bruce and Deshaun Stevens battling it right down to the buzzer here after 1 quarter of play. It's 16-11.
Well, I heard there were bonuses in their contract, so they need as many points, rebounds, and assists as they can get for that juicy residual check that comes in the mail.
Yeah, exactly. What'd you see in that first quarter of play?
You know, I saw a lot of competitiveness. I really wasn't expecting much, but, you know, both teams are really utilizing the paint and not really relying too much on the three. They probably know that jumper won't be the finest, so definitely trying to try the waters in the tougher corners.
And the Alex Johnson versus Bree Johnson matchup is so interesting. They know each other well. How have you seen that one-on-one battle go tonight?
Well, Bree Johnson's definitely giving a few chirps to Alex Johnson. We've seen when Alex laces up a three, she's yelling miss or that's off. So there's definitely going to be some competitiveness between these two throughout the rest of the game.
And neither coach taking a timeout in that first quarter of play. Of course, you got Blake Murphy on one side, Coach S on the other side, of course, Sean Woodley, an assistant coach for team media as well. But another coach utilizing a timeout. We'll see how they might utilize it here in this second quarter of play as we'll get ready here for some more action here from the Mattamy Athletic Center. And a pretty good crowd here on hand in downtown Toronto. And of course, you can find out more on Sport versus Media about the MLSE Foundation on their website and social media as well, as some of the standouts in that first quarter. I think Deshaun Stevens, we talked about him before the game, coming all the way from Queens, calling the Vanier Cup earlier today, but no rust showing on display today. Well, let's welcome in the third member of our broadcast crew. For more on this one, let's send it over to Abigail Dubb.
Thank you very much, Matthew. And for those watching the game at home, what you might not know is that Matthew Davison has quite the history here at the Mattamy Athletic Center here at Toronto Metropolitan University. Our very own Karina Mustafa sat down with him. Here's that.
Oh, it feels awesome. This is really where I fell in love with sports television and commentating, and so many great moments I got to witness here over the years, so it's really special to be back in this gym.
Over your time at TMU, how much did you grow as a broadcaster?
I think I grew a lot, starting out as a sideline reporter and, being so nervous and not really knowing what to expect and kind of pushing myself outside my comfort zone in my first year, and then over time getting more comfortable, having more confidence to eventually.
Well, it's so great to be back in this gym. So many great memories here. I remember last year we called women's basketball home opener against Queens together, and it's so great to be back in this gym as Will Liu has it here for Team Media, and we'll turn it over. Or it looks like a foul will go against Team Media here.
Yeah, it looked like a take foul.
Take foul.
That's what I thought, so it'll be free throws here.
But thank you so much to the Sport versus Media team for allowing me to come back into this gym and call this great basketball game here. As Cam Bruce will head to the line, and Coach S. Barahini is upset with that foul call. Evan, your thoughts?
Well, apparently he thought there were no take fouls, but I thought right away that was a take foul, and sure enough, so did the ref, and 2 free throws here for Cameron Bruce.
Cam Bruce, bronze medalist in 60-meter hurdles earlier this year. 2020 gold in 60 meters back in 2020. Those were OUA championship medals, and was also a U Sport silver medalist in the heptathlon back in 2022. 18-11 is where we stand after 1 quarter of play. Will Liu will get it up top, picked up by Bruce. Inside for Amanda Lee Coffey, and Elijah Roberts defended that shot well, and no good for Team Sport, or Team Media rather, as Bree Johnson has it here. Bruce. Back for far, and a 3 here for Johnson off the mark. Big rebound there for Elijah Roberts, and his shot will fall.
Nice effort play there from Elijah Roberts.
And Team Sport back within 5 here. Up court, here comes Alex Johnson. Back for Robin Pearson, her shot off the mark.
Checking her hands, just wondering what happened there.
That pass way off for Bree Johnson.
Looked like Zach Wilson there for a second.
18-13 here. Media in front. A shot here off the mark for Jerome Chang. We'll get the rebound and battle for it. Deshaun Stevens not out of harm's way, but a fresh 14 here for Team Media. Robin Pearson can't get that one to fall. Team Sport will take it up court.
Team Media showing a lot of fight here in this one. I definitely didn't expect them to be up going into the second quarter.
Cam Bruce feeds it inside. Deshaun Stevens can't get that one to go, and it's going to be out of bounds here. And the green ball. And we're getting a timeout called here. First one of the night, called by S. Barahini, and I guess he's finally wants a moment to talk things over with his group.
And he opted for the 2-minute timeout here to start.
All right, for more on this one, let's head back over to Abigail Dove.
And there are a ton of people on Team Media, one of which is an author, Alex Wong, producer of The Raptor Show, who just released his newest book titled Prehistoric. For more on that, Karina Mustafa has the story.
Let's talk about your new book. I actually have it here. It's called Prehistoric. Tell us a little bit about that. How did that come about?
Yeah, so since the Raptors won the championship, I've been thinking about what kind of Raptors book I could write. And like I mentioned earlier, I came here to Toronto when I was 8 years old, and like 3 years later, in '95, the Raptors started playing. I remember how exciting it was just as a kid, as a basketball fan, to like, you know, you follow Michael Jordan, you follow Shaquille O'Neal, all these other players, but suddenly it's like different when you have your own team that you're able to follow, and you have your own jersey that you want, and like t-shirts and stuff, and like following your own favorite players like Damon Stoudemire, who was kind enough to provide the forward to this book. So, you know, the last few years I've spent the time working on this book, interviewing around like 140 people, a lot of them like players, coaches, front office, people that were just involved with the very beginning of the Raptors. Like I really wanted to put together a book that younger and older Raptors fans can appreciate. You know, people that were there in the very beginning, I think they're gonna find a lot of cool stories that they just didn't know about. And then there's younger people like probably like yourself as well, who like weren't there, don't remember like how this franchise came about. You're able to learn a lot of cool stories about it, so.
Welcome back, and we want to remind you that Alex has very generously provided a few copies of his book for the attendees today. The bid on the silent auction, and definitely going to check that out at halftime, Evan.
Yeah, it seems like an interesting book. I mean, someone like myself who's not from Toronto, I'd love to hear his stories and just his perspective coming over from Canada and experiencing a Raptors championship as well, and started like the birth of basketball here in Toronto and Canada in general.
Author of We the Champs cover story in his newest book, Prehistoric. As just about ready to get back underway. Timeout called by S. Barahini, lead NBA reporter for SDPN, the Steve Dangle Podcast Network, and sideline reporter with the CEBL as well. Got a lot of experience on his staff with S and Sean Woodley, a Locked On Raptors host. Also does some play-by-play with Locked On with the CBL as well. As that's a great defensive stand there for Robin Pearson, and I think team media wanted a call there. That shot is up, off the mark there. Bowlers get the pass back here. 5 to shoot here for Team Sport. Amy Walsh trying to feed it inside, and it would have been perfect if they got it off in time. And waving his arms is Tishone Carter-Newman, the celebrity referee, winner of BB Canada. And I'm a little bit starstruck myself, a Big Brother fan. Of course, the winner of Big Brother 9, Big Brother Canada 9, I should say. That shot just off the mark, a bit too strong there, as Amy Walsh will take it up court. Picked up by Pearson. Walsh on the drive, looking for help. And she's able to put that one up and through. That was nifty shot there for Bree Johnson.
Yeah, it took the words right out of my mouth. Found her spot.
And I think these former players are kind of settling in this one and kind of trying to utilize their teammates as best as they can, as you see Bree and Alex battle for that ball. Oh, long pass there. Alex Johnson with the great pass all the way for Robin Pearson. And that one, mentioned the Zach Wilson comparisons earlier. That one was more like Aaron Rodgers in his heyday. Here's a 3 off the mark for Bree Johnson. And Will Liu will take it up court. Alex Johnson. Now back for Will Liu. Guarded by Justin Tooney. Some great defense there. Now picked up by Walsh. And
defensive violation.
And Blake Murphy is going to call a timeout here. And he just wants a short timeout here. And with that, Blake Murphy, co-host of the Raptors show on Sportsnet. Very used to his coach and coaching Team Sport tonight, and our very own Karina Mustafa asked him about his goal in this game earlier today. We'll get to that a little later in the show and see Team Sports or Team Media bench here. Very upbeat. A lot of positive energy on that bench. All right, with more on this one, let's head back over to Abigail Dove.
All right, well, I'm here with Ailish Forfar. I'm going to ask, basketball or hockey, how are you feeling right now?
My goodness, I'm not prepared for this. I'm having a lot of fun, though, and I'm currently on the court, so we got to move back. But I'm having a good time. Purple's working hard, and I think that's all that matters.
Perfect. Well, we're going to send it over to your hit with Karina Mustafa.
Little me, I remember like the first couple times I got it on the ice. Actually, my parents put me in figure skating, and I hated it. because I wanted to play hockey like my brother. And so I
Yeah.
think maybe I always looked at male role models. I want to be like my brother. I wanted to be like, Sidney Crosby and all these players that were male. And I think if I could go back and talk to younger me and be like, keep paving that way for the next generation of girls, and don't be discouraged by maybe the hardships that are going to come. Progress isn't linear. I went through like injury. I went through getting cut from teams. I didn't always make the top line that I wanted, but I think it just makes you a stronger person, right? Success isn't easy. It's not handed to you. So I know younger me probably didn't think about those things, but just being patient with myself and loving the game, because now I get to cover it and I love it, and I got to play it and I love it. So I'm very grateful for all that, and just to keep going and keep pushing strong.
Being a woman in this kind of space, what do you hope to see more of in this sport?
Yeah, from the playing perspective, it's been really inspirational to see so much growth in women's sports just in general, seeing more girls get involved. I mean, I was a hockey player, so women in sport and women in hockey to me is a really big importance. Like, I grew up only playing boys hockey because there wasn't girls hockey. Now there's going to be a women's league, and now, women are like the forefront of hockey in Canada at times. So seeing that growth as a player has been really important. But in the media side, I think we're still a little bit behind. Like, I still think that there's way more opportunity for women to have forward-facing roles, behind the camera, writing, like whatever, production, directing. There's so many roles that women bring a different perspective.
And welcome back. It's a close game here. I think a lot closer than a lot of people expected. I don't think a lot of people expected Team Media to be leading at this point in the game. There's a shot, and that one's gonna fall for Haley McGoldrick.
Well, the bank's open on weekends, isn't it?
And it's a 6-point lead off the bank. That one won't fall there. Kyle Bowlers off the mark, and that's a big rebound there for Alex Johnson. Quickly up court, picked up by Deshaun Stevens. Liban Osman, back for Jelani Goodridge-Reed inside. And that one won't fall for Alex Wong. Osman, a three, no good. And Amy Walsh will bring it up court here for Team Media. Or apologies, Team Sport rather, as she'll dribble that one out of bounds.
Unfortunate turnover there.
Amy Walsh, one of the many Team Sport, a lot of the crossovers, I should say, because of course she's Hall of Famer as a soccer player, and now does great work with TSN and TSN 690. So you take a look at Ailish Forfar on the bench there, and awesome to see her catch up with Karina Mustafa. And we look forward to halftime. Karina and Noor will take you through some of the highlights and some of the key things they're watching out for, and some more great featured content as well. So stay tuned for that. It's a 24-18 lead here for Team Media. 6-point difference here, and you're starting to see a little bit of frustration, I think, from that Team Sport bench. And Blake Murphy, I wonder what kind of message he's going to have for his team at halftime. Try and bring them back into this one. They can try to claw back with the final 69 seconds on the clock here.
Yeah, Team Media, I think, is just coming out with more energy here. I think Team Sport wasn't really anticipating that, but I think it's just the underdog mentality of Team Media that's really allowed them to take this 6-point lead.
Final minute here from the Madame Athletic Center. Another shot there from Haley McGoldrick, this one off the mark. And quickly up court, here comes Team Sport, and they'll get one to drop.
We got a few TMU bold hockey players out here.
We do, cheering on their teammate Elijah Roberts out of Brampton, Ontario. Oh, the spin and the finish there for Alex Johnson.
That's going to land him on the couch tonight, right over his wife.
Oh, the response? No. And a big rebound there for Team Media. Jelani Goodridge-Reed on the glass. Batted around, and Team Media keeps possession of it. On the drive, Alex Wong can't get that one to go.
They wanted a foul call there.
Bree Johnson, shot clock turned off. The behind the back, the Bowlers three, no good. Rebound there for Bruce under the glass. And a lot of contact there, and it's going to be turned over here. With 5.6, Team Media will have a chance here, get the final shot.
Looked like a little confusion there.
Team Media, final shot here, and no good for Alex Johnson. And that is how this first half will end. Team Media, a surprising lead at the half. 26-20 is where we stand after one half of play. A great night here at the Mattamy Athletic Center for Sport versus Media, all in support of the MLSE Foundation. Evan, your thoughts on that first half?
It was a great first half, really exciting as well. I wasn't expecting Team Media to be this good, but I guess when you look at Team Sport not having a lot of basketball experience as well, it was kind of up for grabs, and I think Team Media is embracing that underdog mentality of, look, we might be media personalities, but we can hoop as well.
Yeah, and I find the crossover very interesting. You know, you got Ailish Forfar, who a former athlete, was originally on Team Media, now she goes on to Team Sport, but she still, of course, had that soft spot, I'm sure, in her heart. And Amy Walsh competing for Team Sport, media person, so you're seeing a little bit of that crossover, and I find that interesting tonight as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, both teams are kind of, it's like friendliness really on the court here. We're not really seeing much of that dog mentality, but, you know, these are both people that could easily be playing for both teams. They got to wear what they got to wear, and they got to be on the team they got to be on, but they're still going to come out with that competitive energy, to say the least.
All right, for more on this one, let's head back to our studio and Karina Mustafa.
All right. Thanks, Matthew, so much. Noor, what a first half from Team Sport, Team Media. Team Media is up right now by 6 at the half. What was your biggest takeaway from this game?
Honestly, I'm going to say defense. The fact that I think Team Media is taking this on the chin tonight. They said they probably spent a week practicing today. Team Sports showed up like, I'm just here to play. I'm here to have fun. But Team Media is like, this is my Super Bowl, my Game 7, my everything. So they're putting everything on the line, not just offensively, but defensively. Did you see Lou Will on Justin Pooney? I was scared for Justin Pooney's life for a second, but he was going down. But on the other side, honestly, I'm going to give every single prop for Team Sport to, honestly, I'm saying Bree Johnson. Bree Johnson has been doing everything on the court for this team. She's had 5 points already. The team only has 20 points, so she's honestly carrying the load on her back right now. And if I'm looking at Alex Johnson, take it easy, because if you show her off tonight, you're taking the couch.
So it's safe to say in the Alex versus Bree competition right now, is it Bree that's winning?
It's Miss Bree.
Oh, love that, love that. And just kind of the whole narrative around sport versus media, like you said, Sport kind of came into this thinking, oh, we're going to pummel Team Media, but should they be scared for the second half coming up?
They should, but you know who I'm looking at the most here, Karina? It's going to be maybe not a popular answer, but I'm looking at Blake Murphy. He's the coach of Team Sport. Blake has the hardest job in the world right now because he's got to take a team full of actual natural-born athletes and make them win a game against Team Media, who are known to tie their shoelaces and write about basketball. But they're showing up to Blake. Blake has the hardest job right now. And Blake, what are you doing? My question is to Blake Murphy. Blake Murphy, can you take this team of actual athletes and make them win against the bloggers of the world? I don't know.
There's the message from Noor Zainab. And we had a trade right before the game, including Deshaun Stevens, who got traded to Team Sport. He's been a standout player. We sat down to talk to him a little bit on his journey in sport.
It's deep. It's on so many different levels, right? So obviously I started out as an athlete. I was a football player back in my days when I went to University of Waterloo. And then now from being a football player to actually working in sport, whether it be having a sport media and production company, whether it be working at a larger company such as MLSE, or even in my past working at, leagues such as the CEBL, right? My relationship with sports is so multi-layered, but I think the one thing is that sports has always been a part of my life. Whether it be me as a young kid, being an athlete, whether it be me just being a fan, like a Raptors fan or a Detroit Lions fan, whatever you want to say. I played football because I was just good at it, but basketball is my true love. Like if I can go back in time to when I was younger, I think I would have picked up a basketball a lot earlier. Okay, so that's my relationship with basketball. It's the sport that I loved that I never got to play because I wasn't that good at. With football kind of being what my life was in the past, I've kind of been like drowned in football for so long. It's kind of just like, I can't really watch it as much anymore. But basketball is something I can always watch, and I can always feel emotions, whether it be good emotions, like winning a championship, right? Like the Raptors winning a championship, or whether it be, bad emotions, such as like, Pascal and the Raptors blowing a fourth quarter lead to the Chicago Bulls in like a play-in game. So I think my relationship with basketball now it's about emotions and it's about happiness. And I think basketball is that one sport that I can always kind of like lean on to feel those emotions. What really made me interested in this initiative was the fact that it's being put together by people who aspire to be in the industry, who aspire to, one day work for like the Sportsnets, the TSNs, the MLSCs of the world, right? And I think like what I admire is that grind, that hustle, right? And I think for someone that's in the industry, I recognize how competitive it is, you know what I'm saying? And I recognize that to get to where you want to be, you have to be really creative and you have to, try to create things that, oftentimes you've never seen before. And so for me to look at something like this, it's like, well, it's really cool in the sense that like, one, you could see like there are a bunch of people who came up with this idea that I've never seen before personally, right? And so it's like that creativity coming to the table. But then two, it's like this really cool concept of where you take like two different areas of sport and put them together in one. The media side and then the actual sports side, right? And it's like, it's kind of cool because like, the media is kind of like, they're like the ones that are always judgmental and say these things and are kind of real or not real, whatever you want to say, right? And the athletes are the ones that just want to go about their business. And so I kind of like the idea of bringing together both on like one court, having them kind of do it out. But honestly, just the concept itself is just so creative. And when I first saw it, I was like, whoa, this is something I would love to be a part of because you never really see it before. And I think it's just cool to bring together people from different areas of the media world, speaking from a media context, people from the media world, to actually meet each other, right? And learn about what they're doing, admire what they're doing, right? Like I'm looking at the roster, I'm saying, oh, these are some people that are doing really cool things. Like I admire what they're doing. I've seen their work, right? And hopefully vice versa, right? So I think there's just so many layers to it, and just the admiration is what I bring, and then I think just the competitive aspect too. Like I love to be competitive, right? And I love to play on teams, and so for me, the opportunity to play in a game like this, where you get to like share the court with some athletes, current athletes, or really accomplished athletes, I think that's really, really cool too. So the entire thing looks fun, and I'm just really all in on being able to just bring my energy and bring my passion. So that's what I bring to the table.
All right, so we just heard from Deshaun Stevens, who has a pretty well-rounded journey in sport, being a player himself and now working in it. He has his own brand, Persevere, which covers university athletics across Canada, but he also works with the likes of CBC Sports. I mean, Noor, how important is it that all of these players are so involved within their world of sport, especially the young ones on these two rosters that are trying to make a name for themselves?
Not only is it important, but I think it's super important to be here in Canada, in Toronto, and kind of take over the sports that they have, whether that be basketball, soccer, football, whatever it is, but making that passion come to life and making sure that people around in Canada kind of take that passion onto themselves too, and realize that we're a nation that understands sports, that likes sports, that watch sports, and that can talk about sports. So this is not only important for us, but I think for the next generation moving forward, and these guys are the OGs for what we have going on right now.
Absolutely, and I think even pushing the conversation even further to have more women in sport as well. I know you and I are having a lot of fun on this panel tonight, and I think something that we're searching for in this game too is more representation, more resources for women in sport to have to succeed. And we sat down with two of the players as well, Amy Walsh and Robin Pearson, both of whom are very established as women in sport in this industry too. Really enjoyed their conversations. Check it out.
Forget to value yourself. Because I'm finding now, moving into different spaces, even I'm well removed from when I retired in 2009. And again, like I said, I never saw myself as having a professional career. But it's to dream big, obviously, which is like maybe cliche, but I'm still fighting against that imposter syndrome that I was fulfilled as an athlete. And I felt like I was really who I was and who I was meant to be as an athlete. But then it's harnessing that power and imbuing it in whatever the next step is. To a young Amy, I'd say, like, harness everything that you are via your sport. Because in many ways, that's like yourself in its purest form. But then bottle that up and then put that into whatever your next endeavor is.
even with the gist, like, what is your guys' goal? Like, how do you guys hope to change the narrative around, women's sports, but also the experiences that women do face in this area?
Yeah, I think the idea behind it was making a sports hub by the fans for the fans, but also in a way that treats every fan as if they know the exact same amount. We're not trying to unfortunately use the term mansplain to others if you didn't know this thing. We try and give the whole story so that anyone can be a fan and be a fan of all kinds of sports, all kinds of athletes, all kinds of different opportunities in the sports space. And I think that has just been really key to our success, and it's helped elevate underrepresented voices like women in sports, because that's just our holistic approach. Is we don't discriminate against the type of fans that are into sports, but rather we try and welcome everybody no matter what their knowledge base is.
And that was Robin Pearson, who already has 4 points in the first half. And then we also heard in the beginning from Amy Walsh, who, as we know, played for the Canadian women's national team of soccer. Noor, you kind of started out your journey in sports watching soccer. What was that background kind of like for you getting into sports?
Honestly, for me, it was seeing some people. It was seeing a sport that back in my day. I mean, I'm not that old. Back in my day, you saw soccer that ended up being really a universal sport through men and through women. But I saw that translate over to basketball later on, because for me, soccer was the main hub where I saw women being hosts, being content creators, being actual athletes on that place as well. And getting to see representation, I found representation to be the best and the most underrated thing in the world, because once you see somebody like yourself on the court, on the pitch, who does what you can do, you feel like, I can do that as well. I had no idea that was a way to go. So soccer for me was really the opening into a world of sports for women, and I'm so glad to be here, because if it weren't for soccer, honestly, I don't think I'd be sitting here right now next to you, Karina, and having all these opportunities and these experiences to do what I love to do.
I love that. I love that there are so many different backgrounds of people that came together, and they're all kind of tied by the same love for basketball, which is nice too. We have this basketball game. Everybody's playing in the game, even if you weren't necessarily a basketball player. You and I both love watching and commentating on basketball.
I couldn't make the team because I'm 4'3". Karina over here is about 6'9". So if the Raptors don't want her, I'm sure Team Sport could use her tonight. Blake Murphy, if you're looking, we got a scout right here.
I will say, I'm not quite ready for high-level sports at this part of my career. The bones just aren't there anymore. Sure. The muscles aren't there, but I appreciate the kindness. But just this event overall, the Sport versus Media basketball game, kind of just transpired over the last 3 months. There was a lot of work put into it, and we also had a couple people on the roster and outside of it helping us promote the game, including No Dunks, including the Raptors show. As you can see there, Jerome Chang is the senior producer for No Dunks for The Athletic. The guys were so kind to kind of talk about the game and promo it, make a little bit of fun of Jerome in the game. And then we had the Raptors show people with Will Liu, Blake Murphy, and Alex Wong. It's been an interesting kind of banter watching Blake talk with Will and Alex on the Raptors show over the last couple of weeks, because he's coaching against them. So I know Blake did some scouting reports where he asked them for their cards and things like that. But I wonder what the dynamic was like.
Not just that, Karina. Again, I don't need to harp on Blake Murphy's horn right now, but you did. I heard through a grapevine. I can't release my my birdies, but they did say that Blake reached out and he asked for scouting reports from everybody. So why are you down by 6 points, Blake? I don't know. You tell me, Karina.
I mean, we can go back down and check in with them now. We can send it back down to our commentator crew, Matthew Davison and Evan Davis, to talk more keys to the second half and what they can expect. But before we do that, which player are you kind of looking for to maybe explode in the second half? Are you looking for more from Alex Johnson? He had kind of a quiet first half, and if Bree's winning the race right now, he's probably going to have to step up.
You know what? I would say I think Alex Johnson has to be the one to step up from team media, because honestly, who else is there going to be? But I don't think so. I think Alex Johnson's going to he's going to be outshone by Bree Johnson, by his wife, because she's here and you can tell she's on a mission. Not only is she putting up the points, I believe she has the highest points right now for Team Sport, but on the other side too, she's making sure that defensively she's suffocating everybody. Now, Team Media is good at that too, I understand, but I think Team Sport, Bree Johnson, I don't need to keep bringing her up, but she has been explosive to start this game up in the first half. So let's see what S can do to kind of limit her on both ends of the court. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, and as we know, S. Barahini and Sean Woodley are both coaching Team Media tonight. How would you grade them so far, considering Team Media is up by 6 points at halftime?
I think I'm called up like 5 times. Yeah, I'm very happy with us and with Sean. They're doing what they need to do. And you know what's crazy? I think it's almost showing us that. I love how you have this setup where you have all these athletes that don't really play basketball, but they play other sports. But you've got the guys that play basketball. So you get to see how the talent disparity goes on.
What do they need to do? What does Team Media need to do to win, keep their lead in the second half of the game?
Defend.
All right, well, you heard it from Noor and I here on the halftime show. Let's send it back down to our courtside crew, Matthew Davison, Evan Davis, and Abigail Doe.
Thank you so much, Karina, and we're just about set for second half action. It's a 26-20 lead for Team Media, the underdogs in this contest, and Alex Johnson has been real impressive. Of course, you know, didn't know he was going to be playing for Team Media when he woke up this morning, but he has really embraced that jersey that he's put on, and he's really found that spark within Team Media, and I think he's kind of been the key ingredient why they have a 6-point lead.
Yeah, he's definitely been that the straw that's stirring the drink for Team Media. Huge reason why they're up 6 points here in this one.
Evan, take me through your keys to the second half.
I think my keys to the second half for Team Sport, who have the ball right now, I think they just got to play a little bit more aggressive here. I think it's a little too lackadaisical with some of the turnovers, as we see Elijah Roberts getting his own rebound. They call it a travel there. And then for Team Media, I think you just got to keep doing what you're doing. It's obviously working here. I really like how they've been defensively, specifically with their steals and causing more turnovers and causing Team Sport to do things that they might not want to do.
Comes back for Will Liu, and that shot no good.
Shrugs that one off, says delete that, delete that. Fortunately, we are live.
And we have a trophy that we're playing for today. The Sport versus Media trophy. As that shot falls, 26-23, Sport Media in front. There's a shot that just is off the mark. As you take a look at this beautiful, beautiful trophy. Sport versus Media champion. There will be one tonight. Oh, and that one is good. Cam Bruce, high arcing shot.
An immediate timeout there after a quick 6-0 run.
Yeah, we are tied here, 26-26, and a timeout is called here.
Just a 20-second timeout here, just a quick little regroup after not a great start to the second half here for Team Media.
And with more, let's head back over to Abigail.
Thank you very much. And for those who don't know, Jelini is a rising star in the media space. He's worked in digital, on air, and is now an associate producer at Sportnet. For more on his goals, listen to his sit down with Karina Mustafa.
It's cause we're close to this.
To Ryerson formerly, now Toronto Metro's sport media program. I walked in wanting to be on air, wanted to be a host and things of that nature, but that program, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot. They teach you multiple things, so I now have a love for social media management. I have a love for, you know, PR and things of that nature, so maybe working with a team in the future would be cool. Right now, you know, doing some things in terms of producing has been pretty fun for me. So just, I think, honestly, if you're getting into this, I think that you shouldn't look to one thing. You shouldn't have tunnel vision. Having multiple areas where you could work, adding things to your toolbox, that's the best thing possible for you if you're entering this. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Welcome back. Great to hear from Jelani Goodridge-Reed. We are in a tie ball game here. That shot's gonna fall. And a huge three-pointer there. Out of the timeout, Amy Walsh knocks it down. Her first 3 points of the day.
It's her second three-pointer of the half.
Oop. My apologies. As that shot falls, the answer, oh my! Jerome Chang knocks it down.
Gives a little Carmelo Anthony 3 celebration there.
Jerome Chang in his Instagram bio says he lives on the 14th coolest street in the world. Do not know what that means. I know he lives in Toronto, so maybe it's one of those streets. I'd love to learn more. We got a chance to talk to him after the game, as that is going to end up in the hands of the team media as they look to go the other way.
Bruce with a big block there on Johnson.
The other way, here comes Bree Johnson. That shot off the mark as they battle for the rebound. And Bree Johnson's got it back. Or Amanda Lee Coffey was able to secure that rebound. This team media heads the other way. Can he knock another one down? He can! Jerome Chang cannot miss in this third quarter.
And he says, I got ice in my veins.
32-29, team media in front. Elijah Roberts kicks it out. Bruce, a three, no good. And Bruce playing for Team Sport. His first love was basketball, when he eventually chose track and field in high school. Just liked how he was able to kind of do his own thing in track and field, and didn't always love the pressure from the coaches when he was playing basketball, and kind of factored into his decision, but certainly has a soft spot for this sport, as we've got 4:19 left to go in this third quarter. As Tishon asks one of the camera people here, or one of the videographers, to move back just a little inch.
Yeah, it looked like he was in play on that.
You do not want to get into the field of play for basketball, especially. We've seen over the years a lot of, oh, and there's another shot that goes down. And team media and Alex Johnson trying to work back into this one.
Teams are just exchanging three-pointers here. I don't know what happened in the first half.
That one kept in there by Bree Johnson, as Cam Bruce gets it back. Working around this screen set by Deshaun Stevens, and Cam Bruce will draw the foul here. Blake Murphy.
And Kyle Bowler's getting into that too, the hockey star.
Yeah.
I know he's used to body checking. Coaches exchanging words, trying to figure out who that foul was on. It'll be side out here with Cam Bruce inbounding the ball.
3:42 left to go in this third quarter. Bree Johnson on the drive, and she'll draw the foul.
Take a hard foul there.
It's the third foul that will go against Levon Osman. And heading to the line will be Bree Johnson, her Team Sport. Played D1 ball with NC Greensboro in 2010, 2011. And also founded OTG 3x3, which hopes to make a safe space for women and girls. As off on that second free throw. And it'll be out of bounds, and Team Media will pick up possession here. 3.5 left to go in this third quarter.
Missed both those free throws there.
Levon Osman gonna work on Kyle Bowlers. And all the way, drawing the foul there, Alex Wong.
He wanted the and one there. Says I can't shoot as he heads to the free throw line. So this should be interesting to see how he takes these 2 free throws. We'll just ignore that first free throw there. Put that one in the back seat. Second one a little bit closer, off the rim.
Alex with 4 points today as Team Sport looks to cut into this 6-point deficit here. Kyle Bowler's on the drive, looking for an option. That shot is up off the mark, but Kyle Bowlers gets the rebound. And off the mark there was Ailish Forfar. Robin Pearson, pure. And it's an 8-point lead here for Team Media.
And what was once a tied game just a few moments ago now leads to a timeout here for Team Sport.
Blake Murphy starting to sense the pressure here. 8-point deficit here as Team Media has really played well in this game. A game where a lot of people counted them out, Evan.
Yeah, myself included. I didn't think, you know, the people behind the scenes that produced our beloved sports games had that dog in them.
Well, let's send it back over to Abigail.
And we have 2 of their teammates playing in the game, Elijah Roberts and Kyle Bowlers. Now, I'm wondering, who do you think is the better basketball player?
I'm going to have to go with Elijah Roberts. I think he's got more bounce and he's better defensively.
And what do you think?
I think Kyle Bowlers, he has more points.
All right, well, Kyle had quite the goal yesterday at the Brock University game. I'm wondering, what were your thoughts on it? It was quite the Michigan play that's been picked up by TSN.
Yeah, I mean, he's super skilled. We get to see him do stuff like that every day in practice, and to see him do it in a game is great.
Now, do you think he's better at basketball or hockey?
I think that boy needs to stick to hockey, man. He doesn't look too good out here right now.
For more on Kyle Bowlers, Karina Mustafa sat down with him.
Going up every grade 6, 7, 8 or whatever, but other than that, no, not really. I don't know. I want to hit at least 1 3. I want to try to shoot and hit 1 3. I think it's kind of fun. I think it's kind of like it's a good cause, right? So I think it's fun. Like we play pickup basketball all the time as a team. We kind of joke about who's good, who's not. So I kind of got to put on a little bit of a show so I can kind of get some good looks for my teammate. But other than that, nothing major. No, I do not want to lose. I hate losing, and that's the one thing I do not want to do is lose.
Oh, and that one's gonna fall there as we welcome you back. Victoria Bach knocks it down, and she is elated after that one, drawing the assist. Kyle Bowlers, great to hear from him after scoring the Michigan goal yesterday. Great to see some of his teammates out here cheer on him and Elijah Roberts. Robin Pearson gets in now. Osmond left open for 3, no good. But getting the board there was Team Sport. And Jelani Goodridge-Reed thought he was fouled under the basket. This shot won't go there for Johnson. And up court now, Osmond will lay it in.
Look at the shorts for Osmond. Never seen those before.
The retro shorts here, the former eye-opener sports editor here. Spent many hours in this gymnasium and able to lay in the transition layup. 1:17 left to go in this third quarter. An 8-point lead now for Team Media.
Looks like some substitutions will be coming in for Team Sport. Try to get a rally going here.
As Pooney is fouled. And he'll head to the line for a couple of shots. An alumnus of the College of Sport Media. And also a host and producer with Homestand Sport. Owner of Process Sports and former Locked On Canucks host. As we do, in fact, get wholesale changes on both sides.
It looked like Alex Wong was a little upset about that foul call. Had to be held back there.
Well, he'll come out of the game for now. brought his Martin Brodeur jersey. Don't know the significance there, but he's putting it on now as Pooney awaits his free throw shots. Tishon Carter Newman, solo official out there. Winner of BB Canada 9, as we mentioned, also a racer on the 8th season of the Amazing Race Canada.
My favorite show.
It's a great show.
Amazing Race.
Hosted by John Montgomery, Canadian legend. And I personally think the Canadian version is much, much better than the American version. Of course, I'm working with an American over here, but are you a dual citizen?
Yeah.
You are a dual citizen. As that one is a foul called there. Shot nearly fell there for Jelani Goodridge-Reed, but he'll head to the line.
You know, I watched the Amazing Race Canada on the flight from LA to Toronto just so I can understand the geography of Canada. It definitely helped me out knowing where Regina is, Saskatchewan. So that was my my geography lesson there.
Well, it's great to hear. Great to hear you're interested in our great country as you take another look at that foul. Bree Johnson, born in Winston-Salem, but competes for Canada. Hometown on many of her bios is Toronto, but a North Carolinian at birth, as this will be taken up court by Elijah Roberts. He'll pop a three, no good. And rebound there for Jelani Goodridge-Reed, who has been impressive here for Team Media. Time winding down in this third quarter. Inside 30 to play. Well, Lou will drive baseline, and he's blocked. Bruce with the rejection. Out of bounds here.
He threw up a prayer, and Bruce just batted that out so easily. Take a look at the replay here as he was driving baseline, and Bruce just gave him 0 ounce of hope.
Well, not only is Cam Bruce 6'3", he also competed in hurdles, so has the vertical as well. We've seen a lot of his work on the perimeter. Haven't seen too much of him getting the ball in the post, just going to work, but there you see the great interior defense. What the block as he has it here. Shot clock turned off. Team Sport have the final shot if they'd like. Bruce on the drive, still with it. Roberts a three, and it goes as the third quarter ends.
And the TMU hockey team loving it.
They're getting a front row seat as it's a 4-point game as we head into the fourth quarter. Evan, Team Media has been so impressive, but Team Sport still being led by Blake Murphy, who is a very vocal coach out there. It's been great to see that matchup as well. Esperahini on the Team Media side and Blake Murphy on the Team Sports side. Two very vocal coaches out there, and I'm sure that Blake Murphy loved that last second Elijah Roberts three. We're just about set for fourth quarter action here at the Mattamy Athletic Center. As we'll throw it back over to Abigail Duff.
Thank you very much, Matthew. As we head into the fourth quarter, we've got another feature for you. Lieben Osman sat down with Karina Mustafa. Here's more on that.
Probably started when I was younger. Like I was that kid that hated Vince Carter. Like that's how I remember my dad taking me to a basketball game and sitting there and just booing Vince Carter and having no idea why I hated this person. And that was just like my start in basketball. And from there I just started playing basketball as a young kid, and I realized I'm not gonna be the next LeBron James. So I was like, let me get on the media side of things and like hopefully write about basketball. So I feel like I found my niche in terms of telling stories about people coming up in the city in terms of basketball. I felt like at times, like neighborhoods in the city don't, like Scarborough, Rexdale, Jane and Finch, when it comes to basketball, like those are untapped stories. So I always try to show love to like communities and people I know in that area. So a lot of it, when it comes to, especially when it comes to those neighborhoods, when you read about them in the news, it's like all the bad stuff gets highlighted. So for me, whenever I want to write that story, I'm like, hey, I want to highlight that they come from this neighborhood and they're doing good in that neighborhood. So that's like my focus when it comes to my stories, and also like telling stories of Canadian basketball players on the rise before everyone starts to figure out who they are. It's like everyone realizes once they get drafted, they're like, oh, Shaden Sharp, oh, this person. But I'm like, oh, I want to follow them before they get to that point. So that's kind of like my approach to telling stories and like trying to discover who these guys are before they become who they are in a way, you know?
We welcome you back, and Osman starting the fourth quarter on the bench here, but he'll surely be checking in the game in short order. And great work by our Sport versus Media team with all those features, and one more quarter to decide this one. As we finally get to see who will reign supreme, Team Sport or Team Media, as this one will go out of bounds, and we'll stay right here with Team Media.
Defensive intensity surely picking up here for Team Sport.
Oh, and another block for Bruce. Bruce. My goodness. Let's take another look at that. I mean, that's just not fair. A 6'3" hurdler playing basketball. As he gets it here, we've seen him knock down shots. We've seen him reject a few as well. And now Deshaun Stevens will get this great pass inside and will head to the free throw line.
And Portacallis was yelling at the ref there. He was arguing that that ball hit the rim, so it should not have been a goaltending. Take a look at Cam Bruce. I mean, the vertical leap on that one to block it, that came out of nowhere. And heard the words from Will Lou saying, seriously? In a charity game?
Deshaun Stevens will head to the free throw line here. Six-point lead for Team Media. 7:19 left to go here in this fourth quarter. And now taking up court will be Alex Superman Johnson. Nice pass and the finish there. Too easy. Alex Wong.
Defensive blunder there from Team Sport.
And Alex Johnson picks it apart. Oh, and there is the answer.
Big response there from Team Sport. They needed a bucket there. Cut the lead to 4.
Bree Johnson with the response for Team Sport, as they'll get a turnover here. And Deshaun Stevens will take it up court. They'll get this pass back, an easy layup there, and a timeout called here by Esparahini. As it's a 4-point game, Team Sport, 2-point game make it. Team Sport coming back into this one.
And Deshaun Stevens read that pick and roll pass play like a children's book, was able to intercept that and then get his own little give and go. Make it a 1-bucket game here.
So we take another look at this shot here. Johnson has been impressive today, as we'd expect.
Just made a couple of three-pointers here in this one.
All right, Abby, what do you got for us?
Center, even one in the stands. I have Faisal, who works for Sportsnet. Now, I'm wondering, what are your thoughts on this game?
Okay, I'm not going to lie. I didn't expect it to be this tense. You know, I know everyone is friends. Everyone kind of knows each other. There's like some real tension on the court right now. I like it. It's made for a close game, and I think we're going to have a fun ending.
Yeah, well, we in the fourth quarter, so we're coming down to the end. I'm wondering if you maybe have an early MVP pick and an early winner. It's definitely a tight game.
No, it's definitely a tight game, but I think I would be banned from the media if I didn't just pick them to win. They're winning right now, although the lead's being cut into by the athlete side. MVP-wise, I feel like, I don't know. It's a tight game right now. I know Will's hit a couple big shots. Jerome's hit a couple big shots. But if Alex continues his big fourth quarter, and he paid me to say this, I think he's my MVP in this game.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. Sending it back over to you guys.
Thank you so much, and we'll see if Team Media can close this thing out. And it's been a great response by Team Sport in this fourth quarter. That is a
much needed bucket right there.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Team Media.
4-point lead restored. Pooney gets it inside, looking for help, and
3-second violation there.
In the key, and turnover here with under 6 to play in the final frame. Sport versus Media. This is where heroes are made. Crunch time here at the Mattamy Athletic Center. The fake and the little hand, or a little pass off, and now Coffee all the way, and despite the half block from Roberts, or Bowlers, that one's gonna drop.
Quick 4-0 run here from Team Media.
Bree Johnson, the three.
That was pure.
My goodness. Johnson's played in a lot of big games, whether it be 3x3 or D1 ball with NC Greensboro. She's played in these big moments, and she has stepped up when her team has needed it most. 3-point lead here all the way. Shot won't fall for Goodridge Reed on his own rebound, and he's fouled on the putback attempt.
Love the second effort there, draw the foul.
And he's been real impressive, Jelani Goodridge Reed. Heard from him a little bit earlier with Krina, and has worn a lot of different hats over the course of his young career. Producer, content creator, writer, and social media manager, as Liban Osman will check back into the game, as will Haley McGoldrick. Bit of a rest for Amanda Lee Coffey and Alex Wong. Will Liu will also come back in for Team Media. Goodridge Reed at the line. Off on the first. And Team Media wants another sub, as Alex Johnson will come back in, or Alex Wong. Will Liu will come back in. Alex Wong to the bench. It's interesting when Will Liu and Alex Wong don't play together. Of course, they have so much chemistry playing together and co-hosting the Raptors podcast. Alex Wong, the producer of the Raptors show on Sportsnet. Oh, and there's a block there. Goodridge Reed with the rejection. 5 to shoot here for Team Sport. And it's Bruce gets that one a fall. As Will Liu will take it up court, the former Yahoo Sports Raptors writer and now the Sportsnet Raptors analyst, co-host of the Raptors show. That shot's off the mark. Good contest there for Elijah Roberts. As Team Sport looks to climb back into this fourth quarter here.
Okay. Should I write it down on the flashcard?
4:19 left to go here. 2-point game. Team Media up by 2 here. As Cam Bruce was driving and lost the handle on it. And going to stay with Team Sport here with 13 to shoot.
Looked like a close call there.
Elijah Roberts gets it off the inbound. Bree Johnson on the drive. Walsh back for Johnson. A look for 3, no good. And a good rebound there for Robin Pearson.
Took some contact there.
Here's Alex Johnson, guarded by her. As Cam Bruce thought he had the steal there, but going to call a foul here. And Evan, Will Liu has been vocal in this game. How many fouls does Will have tonight?
Will has 1 foul tonight.
Interesting. Well, I heard he's a bit of a big fouler out there. Foul merchant is what they call him. And I know Karina Mustafa had a chance to talk to him a little bit earlier as well. Oh, my goodness. Johnson knocks it down after the most disgusting fake you'll ever see.
Oh, my God. And the boys on the TMU hockey team can't believe it. They left their seats. Oh, my God. Take a look at the replay here. I know he plays hockey, but he just got put on skates.
Oh, he was put on skates. That's a great analogy, as Alex Johnson is putting on a show here in this 4th quarter.
And that's not leaving the group chat. That play will not be leaving the group chat.
All of those members of the men's hockey team were on the floor. He does that a lot when he's on the ice, getting defenders to miss, but he was the victim here as Alex Johnson knocked it down. 5-point lead now for Team Media, former 1st overall pick in the NBL draft, part of the London Lightning. Played 10 years of pro ball overseas, Hong Kong, Romania, South Africa, NBA G League as well. Yes, that one's going to go out of bounds, and everything's kind of settled down a little bit after an explosive play, as Bruce will find Bree Johnson. Bruce able to get it back, shot is off. As let's learn a little bit more about Will Liu. Good.
Your other co-host, Blake Murphy, is coaching against you. Now, they've both come out and said that you're going to foul out within like the first couple of minutes. What is your response to that?
I mean, I think that's like a outdated perception. Maybe when I first started my career, when I had less skills to offer, and therefore compensated by playing aggressive defense, let's say, that was more common. But now that I've expanded my game, I'm more finesse, so I'm not involved in the paint as much, which definitely leads to a lot less fouls.
Well, just the 1 foul tonight, and he's drawn a few as well, as Bree Johnson on the fast break all the way, went up with the left and gets it to go, plus the foul. The Johnsons becoming the stars here. Bree Johnson plus the foul, and she'll go to the line for a 3-point play. As there's going to be a timeout called here for Team Media with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this 4th quarter. A 1-point game here. Team Sport trying to work their way back here. William Liu will be part of the effort to try and close this thing out, as Barahini talking things over with his group, of course assisted by Sean Woodley, but S has been very vocal. He's right beside us and not afraid to lend his advice to his players on the court. But final 2 minutes and 20 seconds here, Evan. How does Team Media pull off this upset and close this out?
I think they just got to honestly stay the course here. They've done everything incredibly well. Although it's a 1-point lead, could potentially be a tie. If Johnson connects on the free throw, I think you just got to stay with what you're doing. It's been working this entire game. Don't stray away.
Roberts, who was told, the analogy was you got put on skates, got a little bit deked out there. Your teammates were on the floor after that one. I'm wondering what your thoughts are and how you plan on coming back and getting those few points to get the victory.
I mean, I don't think I'm getting back on after that. And, I think my teammates aren't going to let me hear the end of that one for a while. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure that guy was like Team Canada basketball. So, it's a good move. Got to give it to him. let's just hope our team could get the job done. If I do get back in, I'm coming for revenge and, you know, maybe looking to take the last shot or something.
And what have your thoughts been, and how have you been enjoying the Sport First Media charity game?
Great. It's been a lot of fun. It's, a lot more competitive than I thought it would be. And, you know, the fact that it's a 1-point game with 2 minutes left, you know, kind of just shows how great it's been. And, you know, everyone's having lots of fun. It's been good to meet everyone.
Well, best of luck with the rest of the game, and hopefully not too much bullying in the group chat later tonight. Back to you guys.
Brutal, the interview after that. Great sport, Elijah Roberts. And, you know, he's not a basketball player. He's an exceptional hockey player, but, you know, you got to give it to Alex Johnson there. Just, he's a pro basketball player for a reason. And let's give Elijah Roberts his due. You saw last year, led all defensemen in goals, 5 years playing in the OHL, 8 points through 14 games this year at the TMU Bold, as it's a tie game here. A three is gonna drop, and Alex Johnson becoming a big-time factor here in the fourth, up to 11 points. 3-point lead all the way! Bree Johnson with the answer.
And the Johnsons are just responding back and forth with each other here.
Bree Johnson with 11, Alex Johnson with 14. Another three, no good. Bowler's the rebound. Bruce will take it up court. 1-point game here. Bruce gets the foul. And Bruce will head to the line here. And will have a chance to put his team in front.
Will Lou with the foul there.
Bruce, after so much success with the Varsity Blues track and field team, is now an investment associate after graduating from Rotman earlier this year. As mentioned, his first love was basketball, and you're seeing it on display today. Tie game here. Oh, and the bank is good there. And the response for Jerome Chang and Team Media as they restore their 2-point lead here. And Reed Johnson tried to feed it inside for Deshaun Stevens, but that pass wouldn't work. And here comes Robin Pearson up court. As we approach the final minute here. Oh, and that's gonna be an offensive foul.
And we need a replay review after that one. Very adamantly an offensive foul, but
Bree Johnson taking it and drawing the charge.
Taking it like a champ.
56-54, Team Media looking to pull off the upset here as Bruce nearly crossed over Alex Johnson.
That's a tough task.
As Johnson will fire away, it is good! Bree Johnson, the long distance triple.
She's been on fire this quarter. That's at least her third triple.
Team Sport in front, 57-56. And Johnson's off the mark on his triple. As the Johnsons go head to head here. Final 30 seconds. 1-point lead here for Team Sport. As Blake Murphy says, slow things down here. 13 seconds difference between shot and game clock. Deshaun Stevens gets it up top. And are gonna call a foul there.
Illegal screen there.
And that will turn the ball over here with 15.8 in this fourth quarter. And a timeout will be called here as we take another look at that huge shot knocked down by Bree Johnson. Timeout called here, the final seconds here in the fourth.
What an incredible three-point shot that was. Went even a few feet outside the three-point line. And all of her threes have just been nothing but basket. Take a look at the offensive foul call there. Definitely an illegal screen. Was still moving when he was trying to set that pick.
Blake Murphy and Esparahini Two very experienced, not necessarily coaches, but very experienced media members. And Blake Murphy, a lot of people called him a bit of a traitor. You know, he's a media member, but he's coaching up team sport. And he has a 1-point lead here, trying to close this thing out here, as it looks like both teams are ready to play out these final few seconds.
Like, how are they also supposed to hear her then? Like, how's everyone else supposed to hear her? This game's definitely coming down to the wire here. I was
really
not expecting this high-intensity shootout, essentially, between these two teams.
15.8, Team Media's ball.
Elijah Roberts back on the court.
Team
Apologies.
Sport with that 1-point lead, and Elijah Roberts, he said he wanted to take that last second shot. Maybe he'll have the opportunity to do so. As discussion here at the score table, and Tishon Carter Newman, the experienced referee. He's not just a celebrity official, he does a lot of officiating with the OUA as well. All right, final seconds here, Team Media. Down by 1, inside, and drawing the foul there. Alex Wong, and he'll head to the line with his team down by 1. 5.4 left to go.
Two big free throws here.
Got some subs coming in now, as these are two huge free throws coming up for Alex Wong.
As the boys on the hockey team trying to do everything in their power to distract Alex Wong.
Wong with a chance to tie it with his first.
This is Alex Tomovsky and Will Portakalis trying to do everything to distract Wong.
And now you got to be mindful. Fighting for that rebound on the miss. 5.4 left to go. The free throw is good, and the game is tied.
He banked it in.
Wong comes up clutch. Final seconds, Bruce. And the shot is off. A chance for redemption for Elijah Roberts, but it does not fall, and we are headed to overtime. And Alex Wong says to the crowd, you thought the lights would be too bright, but cold-blooded, missed the first, makes the second, ties the game. And a chance for redemption for Elijah Roberts, but he can't knock down the shot.
What a play by Alex Wong, a guy who had missed his previous 3 free throws, and then somehow just banks in the one that absolutely matters.
And you respect it, right? You're not trying to play hero and trying to, you know, make it a pure shot. He goes off the glass, aim for the square. It's what you've been taught all your life, and he banks it in as he puts on the jersey of Hall of Fame goaltender Martin Brodeur, who has won I don't know how many cups over his time. And he wants his moment. He wants his moment to raise the Sport versus Media trophy over his head as he ties the game on the free throw. And for Blake Murphy, got to be wondering what he's telling to his group of athletes who have played in these big moments before. They're not used to, you know, playing in high pressure situations. And as we approach overtime here, we have a discussion over here at the scorer's table with Tishon Carter Newman. As we'll await what our celebrity official will do here as he see Blake Murphy. And his final words here. Sounds like we're getting 4-minute overtime as Tishon talks over with the scorer's table here.
Look, I don't know.
And on the tip, we'll have Johnson up against Deshaun Stevens. This has been a whole lot of fun, and it only makes sense that we're headed to overtime here.
I just can't believe we're in overtime.
4 minutes of overtime. Sport versus media. Johnson a long triple, no good. Rebound Deshaun Stevens, and a foul onto the basket. Yeah, foul will go against Liban Osman.
I guess we're just going to roll with the 4-minute overtime. This is per sources.
Deshaun Stevens is at the line.
Nice effort play there from Deshaun to get the foul opportunity, get the free throws.
57-57, miss on the second shot, and a violation there.
Everyone's asking who's got 6.
Six would be Liban Osman from Team Media. Osman and Wong trading numbers before the game, which makes it a whole lot of fun for me. And there's a steal for Team Sport. And Cam Bruce will take it up court. Bruce, the spin, trying to work on Johnson. Ailish far off the mark, but Bruce with the rebound. Johnson on the drive, back for Bruce. Pass was just out of his reach, but able to recover and launch up a shot was Amy Walsh. She'll miss on that attempt. Alex Johnson all the way.
And Cam Bruce almost got that.
I thought he was going to be caught on a poster dunk there. I don't know what Alex Johnson's going to do. He's called Superman for a reason, as Bree Johnson misses on that triple. 59-57, Team Media in front here. Osman, the dump off, and the shot's gonna fall there. It's Team Sport looking to climb back here. Shot was good for Amanda Lee Coffey, photographer with the WNBA, NBA, CEBL as well. Here's another steal for Johnson. And the easy layup. And Team Sport, or Team Media here, with a 6-point lead and a timeout called on the floor.
And Alex Johnson stole the ball from his lovely wife there on that one.
That matchup has been a whole lot of fun to watch all night long, as Team Media kind of had their lead fade in that fourth quarter, but a good response in this overtime session, as Liban Osman is being a big piece of Team Media. He caught up with Krina before the game. Oh, the signal there, the hand signal. He's, of course, a former writer, or current writer with the Toronto Star, but former writer with the Eye Opener, which I love plugging as a former writer myself with the Eye Opener.
I currently write for them as well.
Oh, love to hear it. Bowlers for Bruce. Won't try the triple. He has Bree Johnson, but elects to go to Kyle Bowlers, who launches a 3, might have been a long 2, doesn't matter. It was off the mark, but Bruce is there to put it through.
Much needed bucket there. Team Sport was really struggling.
4-point game now. Able to catch that ball was Robin Pearson, and jump ball is going to be called here. And
some jawing back and forth.
Yeah.
Between head coach Blake Murphy as well as Will Liu.
Yes, Will Liu and Blake Murphy, they know each other well, both on the Raptors show, and Blake Murphy yelling back, bench players shouldn't talk.
Says he can't hear them.
4-point game here. We'll see if Wong will come back into the game. He's provided a bit of a spark for Team Media, as Coffey has it here. On the drive, Alex Wong gets it to fall. He had the bank shot on the free throw attempt to tie the game, and here he has the bank shot to put Team Media up 6.
And he's holding on to that hand.
Johnson can't get the triple. Deshaun was blocked there. Rising up for the rejection was Johnson. Bruce all the way, and a foul there as he went down hard.
You should have seen Deshaun's reaction after getting blocked by Alex Johnson. He couldn't believe it.
As take another look at that as Cam Bruce will head to the line.
It was an incredible block nonetheless.
Bruce here at the line.
Something about that bank. Everyone's using it to knock down these free throws.
See if he can make his second here. Bit too strong on the second, but the rebound for Deshaun Stevens, and almost better than he missed is Team Sport here. Tough shot. And drawing the foul there will be Bree Johnson. And
we have a foul out.
Yep, the 6th foul on Alex Wong. That's it for him.
Still pointing that shooting touch to the crowd.
He's played a big role in this game. Remember, he had the tying shot. Send this one to overtime, and Bree Johnson here at the line. Some big free throws here as Team Sport looks to climb back into this one.
Make it a one-possession game if she can connect on the second.
And she does. Think we'll get double overtime here, Evan?
Oh, my Lord, what would that look like if we had double overtime in this one?
As Alex Johnson will bring it up court. Picked up by his wife rather. Johnson finds Coffee, shot won't go. Battle for the ball, Coffee will get it again. But the steal there for Elijah Roberts.
The defensive mentality.
Here comes Bree Johnson, trying to work around Robin Pearson. Now they'll work it around. Walsh for Roberts, had an open look. Decides to go inside for Deshaun Stevens. 3 to shoot. Shot off the mark, and getting that one just before the shot clock went was Elijah Roberts. Missed on the shot. Final 16 seconds here. 65 to 64. And we'll get a foul here. And Alex Johnson will be fouled and be a side out of bounds here. 13.2 left to go. Team Sport up by 1.
They're fixing it. They're fixing it. Yeah. No, it's just
as it's Alex Johnson taking it up court.
It's very stressful.
As we had a discrepancy on the scoreboard. Tishon comes over to discuss things here at the scorers table.
No free throws here, so really no point in fouling anymore.
Final 8.5 now. Final 8.5 here at the Mattamy Athletic Center for what has been a great event, great game here. Can Team Media
over and back, and that's a big turnover there.
Wow. Pass sent Johnson behind the half-court line, and a costly mistake there. And S. Baraheni will call a timeout here. 7.4 left to go. His team up by 1.
What a crazy turnover there. Elijah Roberts and Kyle Bowlers just pressed on Alex Johnson.
If I'm being honest, I thought you could inbound to the backcourt as well.
That's what I thought too. Well, I'm a hockey guy. I thought you could inbound.
I thought you could do that, but Jerome Chang's over here discussing the call. He agrees with us, but
I'm just here so I won't get fined. I mean, like, I thought that was over and back. But I don't know. I thought you could just inbound it back. I've seen that in NBA games where. Yeah. But it seems like only after a timeout you can inbound it into the backcourt. So since it was just a straight foul call, you weren't allowed to do that.
Great information from our amazing producer here, Ben Wachins. 7.4 to go, and a steal here! Johnson is fouled.
Oh my God. Johnson stole the ball from Johnson.
Incredible theater here at the Mattamy as Johnson with the steal, and he'll head to the free throw line. And the first shot is good. And a 3-point difference now. Team Sport down by 3.
Since it was a take foul, Team Media gets the ball back still.
And this one is inbound into the backcourt. And the time will wind out. Team Media prevails to take it over Team Sport, the underdogs, the ones who were counted out in the lead-up. Take down Team Sport, and the writers and the media members take down the athletes.
And what a game that was, back and forth. It felt like in the early fourth quarter stages it was going to get a little out of hand and Team Media was going to run away with it. But Team Sport really did a great job of clawing back in to that game, and it was the incredible play of Bree Johnson that really allowed for Team Sport to tie that game up and make it go into overtime.
Yeah, 100%. But what a night we had here from the Mattamy Athletic Center. The Sport versus Media game did not disappoint. Went to overtime, went the distance, a one-score game in the end. I think a lot of people were a little bit worried about former athletes going against media members, but the media prevailed to take it 67-64 as we're just about ready for our trophy ceremony. And of course, all in support of the MLSE Foundation tonight, who do great work in the sports community. And got a silent auction outside as Team Media gets a chance to celebrate here. And a lot of colleagues, but a lot of, rivals from other companies. You got a little bit of various publications going against one another, but adversaries became friends in the end to take home the Sport versus Media trophy. With more, let's head over to Abigail Dove.
Thank you very much. And before we announce the winners and present them the trophy, I'm actually going to interview the coach over here on Sport Media and ask how that was for him. Now, I know that you got the loss, but what was it like to participate in the Sport versus Media game?
Oh, it's a blast. It was nice to see some of the blog boys and girls step up. I underestimated them a little bit. A lot of fun playing with these guys from different sports and all over TMU. It was a blast.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Now, it is time to announce our Sport versus Media MVP. Now, of course, we have this beautiful golden MVP medal, and it is going to no other than Alex Wong from Team Media. Alex, what is it like to what is it like to win MVP for this game?
You know,
We got a bit of a chant going on for you here right now.
I'd like to thank my parents for not showing up tonight and supporting me. But I feel like I won some people over here, so it was a great win. Shouts to the whole team, coaching staff. Shouts to the athletes team as well. Shouts to everybody for organizing. Really appreciate you guys. I'll never forget this evening.
Well, congratulations and congratulations on the MVP. Now it is time to announce the winner of the very first Sport First Media game with this amazing trophy. Congratulations. Sports Media, you are the champions of the inaugural Sports First Media charity game. We'll let you pictures, but I have to ask, what was it like coaching this team?
It was very stressful. From the beginning, we had 3 people who said they wanted to be Jordan Poole. So it was just, working with a lot of personalities. They were all great. They were all incredible. Everybody contributed. It was incredible. Love this. Thank you, by the way. Great cause. Yeah.
Who do you think was most successful at being Jordan Poole then?
Oh, at being Jordan Poole, definitely the MVP right here. We gotta go there.
Well, congratulations and thank you very much.
All right, I'm gonna have you guys sign the trophy.
All right, thank you so much, Abigail. A great night here from the Mattamy Athletic Center. To put a bow on this one, let's send it back over to Karina Mustafa.
All right, thanks so much, Matthew. Noor, what a game that was. It did not disappoint. I mean, I was kind of hinting all week leading up to it. Are we going to go to overtime? We might, and we did. So what is your initial thoughts on this game going to overtime?
Don't go to Raptors game. Go to a game at Mattamy Athletic Center instead, actually. Honestly, this was a hoot. This was amazing. We got to see every single person on the court, from Jordan Poole to the Bree Johnsons to the Alex Johnsons, bring it together and give us a product that has been amazing. I can't believe I'm still sitting here at about 10 o'clock watching this game, and I was ready for another double OT. I would have been like, bring me another game. I'm cool with that.
I know, we were so tense here in the studio, and I know they could feel it down there too, but Team Media brings the trophy home. Alex Wong is named MVP, obviously banks those 2 crucial free throws to send the game into overtime. What did you think of his performance? And does he now have trash talk that he can bring to the studio against Blake?
Unfortunately, he can. And I don't mean to bring out Blake Murphy once again, but I'm looking at Blake Murphy because you let your co-host get the MVPs on the other team. Should you not know who you're working with and know their ins and outs and how to stop them? Their deepest trauma in life? Absolutely nothing. He let Alex Wong have the game. He had athletes at his disposal, and he did absolutely nothing with that. So what happens when a team that's got a talented roster does not perform? You fire the coach. Blake Murphy, pack your bags, you're out of here. Put this game on your resume, because you might honestly be the next coach for the Toronto Raptors in a couple of years.
Oh man, I love that. And another big storyline of the game, obviously, Alex Johnson versus Bree Johnson, the married couple. We had that surprise trade right there at the beginning. Alex Johnson gets traded to Team Media, and it ends up working out for them. He led the team in points tonight, even had that crossover move where he put Elijah Roberts on skates to nail that 3. But we talked about Bree winning that race in the first half, but what did you think? Was it much closer in the second half between those 2?
It's where I honestly, I think it became a thing where they ended up trading shots. It was Alex Johnson 1 second, Bree Johnson the other, and they were trying to see who would get the couch to sleep on tonight, in my opinion. But they were doing amazing. And yeah, I think just seeing these 2 guys, because imagine you ended up having Alex Johnson and Bree Johnson on the same team. This would have been a bore, probably a blowout. We would have been sitting here done maybe half an hour ago. But the fact that we separated the talent gave us this amazing game, and I'm going to think about this for the whole weekend.
Your key to the second half was defense, but then, like we just mentioned, the offense just came raining in. What a game we had tonight. Team Sport versus Team Media. Team Media takes the cake. We would like to thank everybody for tuning in. This has been Karina and Noor. Thanks for tuning in to Sport versus Media.
Roll goal, mixed goal, and